Complaining feels like a foundational aspect to being a human. You dislike something, bothered by something, tricked by something, you're going to complain. We all do it. It's our way of venting emotions. But that venting can be taken as criticism sometimes. If we dislike something, we generally would like for it to change so it no longer bothers us. But not everything we complain about is a criticism. Sometimes we dislike things as they are, irrespective of their need or reasonability. Sometimes you just hate on a thing because it bothered you. It starts and stops there. I want to explore this point as it relates to fighting games because I see this happen a lot, online and even my discussions with friends too. You're allowed to dislike something in a fighting game without needing justification. It may not sit right with you or it may not be to your liking. It requires us to admit what we do and don't know about a subject, but if we can do that, I think we can all learn to vent a little better. Let me take a step back and give you a clearer example of what I'm talking about. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone that doesn't like zoners? They tell you how they don't like playing against them, they don't find them very fun, and though they may know what to do to beat them, they don't find joy in it. Many people's immediate reaction to this is to roll their eyes and dismiss them. Skill issue. This situation happens a lot in regards to basically anything you can think of. Throws, mix-up, DPs, 4-frame jabs, disjointed hitbox, the list goes on. I think most of the time, it is a skill issue. We dislike things we don't do well against or things we don't understand. Everyone hates fighting Slayer when they play against him for the first time. He's explosive, powerful, and has some dastardly normals. But as you learn how his pressure works, the many points of interactions you have, that discomfort goes down. You don't feel so helpless as before. Generally speaking, as you learn your options to combat a particular problem, your dislike of it goes down. But here's the thing. Sometimes it doesn't. Just because you understand what your options are doesn't mean you suddenly stop disliking it. That dislike may go down some, but it may still be at a level that just doesn't sit well with you. That level varies from person to person. This is where I think we tend to dismiss people's dislikes too easily. If the person has the knowledge and understanding, then the dislike stops being one of skill, one of criticism, but rather it's now simply an opinion. There is no right or wrongness to an opinion, so we should feel free to express it. But even in this, there is still this sense of justification. If you dislike something, you have to have a reason why you dislike it. And you probably can list a number of reasons on why you dislike it. But that leads me to my next point. You actually don't need a reason at all. Have you ever disliked something for its own sake? Have you ever said to yourself, that thing sucks, I don't know how it works, but it's annoying? Even without knowledge, we can admit to disliking things without having justifications for it. We're human. Since when do we need justifications to make loud declarative statements? Though we can make those sorts of statements, they often are perceived as a criticism. Even when admitting we don't know how it works, it can still be dismissed. But here's the thing. If you're venting to vent, then we have to recognize that our venting could be taken negatively. Venting in and of itself tends to be negative. We're airing out those negative emotions within us from the discomfort we're just experiencing. That's what the Blame the Beast subreddit is for. It's a place for venting with the known context that it's just venting for its own sake. Venting can be a good thing, but I think by and large we tend to not see it that way. Much of the time we see people's frustrations as a criticism, either about the game or a character, and it can get personal. But equally, hearing complaints about our venting can also get personal. So given we're all in the same boat, let's take a step back and not assume criticism or judgment. We all need to vent sometimes. It's honestly a healthy thing to do if done right. And part of doing it right is knowing when someone is venting just to vent or a genuine scrub quote. That requires better communication between friends when writing a post. When we vent, we must express that intent. When things aren't a criticism, but rather just a release of emotion. On the other end, we shouldn't take every opinion as a criticism. Because of how we like the game or our character, we can take other people's opinions too personally, and we want to defend them when others voice negative opinions. Each side, all sides, should look to practice a bit of empathy in this. I think we tend to get confused when negative emotions are tossed around, so next time you want to complain about the game or you see a complaint yourself, take a step back and consider the person on the other side. Maybe I lost some of you with this one. It's actually a tricky topic to discuss. Explaining how it's okay to be unreasonable sometimes, it's a rather odd thing to hear. But when we are being unreasonable, we also have to not take things so personally if someone else doesn't like it. So I hope this video serves at least as a good thinking piece. We casuals complain a lot, and we have a lot to learn. But if you just want to hate on Asuka for his sneakers, then I'm right there with you.